Another year, another dose of amazing video games. The current new generation of machines have been starting out slow, but that doesn't mean developers sat on their laurels. Once again, the indies came out in full swing to deliver some amazing games this year. Could their new ideas match up against some of the bigger names that dropped in 2022? Find out as we present our 6th annual presentation of this year's Best of the Best.
Kicking off our top 10 list is the indie roguelike shoot-'em-up sensation known as Vampire Survivors. While it may not look like much with its pixel art graphics and twin-stick shooter gameplay, once you start a run, you won't be able to put it down. Simple and addictive gameplay is joined by an amazing Castlevania-like soundtrack as you chase treasure on repeated runs until you die. It has no business being this much fun, and for such a simple treat, it was definitely one to sink your teeth into this year.
Speaking of death and roguelikes, imagine, if you will, the Daredevil hallway fight scene, but in video game form. Now, keep that scene in mind, and then picture a kung fu movie backdrop with precision fighting game gameplay, and you have our number 9 entry, Sifu. With a unique mechanic of death making you stronger on rebirth, but also older, across 5 stages and a simple revenge tale, and you have this excellent and stylistic beat-em-up.
Classic point-and-click adventure games still get made from time to time, but rarely if ever one has impacted us with such a unique and twisted story as The Excavation of Hobbs Barrow. With a sense of atmospheric tension told through a unique narrative rooted in English folklore, combined with excellent voice acting and gothic Lovecraftian horror elements, Hobbs Barrow is a standout entry to showcase that the classic genre is still alive and well. Here comes a new challenger. The party brawler genre has seen no shortage of competition when it comes to a top-of-mind series such as Super Smash Bros. We've gotten Brawlhalla, Rivals of Aether, Brawlout, PlayStation never mind. The point is that though others have tried, most have fallen into that niche corner of popularity. All that changed with the first true contender to smash his throne with Multiversus. With various characters within the Warner Bros. Catalog at your disposal and free-to-play incentive, Multiversus was set to be a standout hit. It's probably debatable which of the two is the best of the best, but we've all been dying to know the answer to who would win in a fight between Ultra Instinct Shaggy and Superman, and this game lets us live out our dreams and then some. The dungeon crawler genre hasn't seen too much innovation in recent years. Most seem keen to copy Diablo's tried and true systems and do subtle things differently. We've had games like the Trine series as the latest examples, but nothing really pushed the genre to be truly different. Drinkbox Studios is never one to shy away from a challenge, especially after being one of the many indie developers to push the Metroidvania genre of games forward with Guacamelee. Injecting their trademark tongue-in-cheek personality and pop culture reference-based humor into dungeon crawling with their penchant for stylish animation, and you have one of our favorite games of 2022 in Nobody Saves the World.
Tunic, right off the bat, hits you with a colorful charm and serene music, and then drops you in as adorable little fox with a sword. Oh, look at the cute little foxy woxy. It's so cute. Holy crap, this game is hard. Don't mistake this for a kiddie Zelda though. Tunic has challenging combat and complex puzzles, and what made it the most interesting is that it drops you into this amazing adventure without telling you absolutely anything at all. In fact, the game has no instruction manual, and you actually have to find the pages of that manual within the game's world. With clever ideas like this and more, Tunic delivered a strong debut from developer Andrew Schultes and the tiny team over at Finji Studios.
Was it ever any doubt that the cat game was not going to be good? Stray comes in at our number 4 spot with the fantastic grace of its feline star. A wonderful and endearing game about humanity in a world with no humans. Stray is presented like a unique take on the puzzle platform genre. The fact that this was an indie studio's debut title is noteworthy as well. Sometimes the simplest of design choices make the biggest efforts, and Stray implemented that in every aspect of its design. In a year where a lot of small developers try to do big things, Stray was the one that stood on top amongst the rest.
Talk about a glow up. Asobo Studios had a sleeper hit with the first A Plague Tale game back in 2019, and that entry also made our list back then. Now, with the power of the new generation of machines, Asobo dared to do bigger, better, and rattier with an impressive step up in design for the sequel. Improved stealth mechanics, a fantastic and still depressing story, graphics that rivaled most AAA efforts this year, and more rat-filled encounters than we care to remember. A Plague Tale Requiem is a worthy follow-up and stands firmly on the podium as one of this year's best games.
Yeah, this was epic as all heck. Hidetaka Miyazaki, the acclaimed father of the Souls genre, has always talked about making his dream game, and with the power of our new fancy machine overlords, he was finally able to realize his vision. With a huge open world setting and fantastic exploration mechanics, Elden Ring has raised the bar on one of our favorite genres, and has delivered a sensation of gaming not seen in quite some time. The artistic design of the varied environments was such a sight to behold, and the game's stunning soundtrack was a symphonic masterpiece. Elden Ring was a true gaming experience to the verbal T.
And now for this year's honorable mentions.
Game of the Year.
How do you follow up on just not one of the greatest video games of all time, but also what is quite practically the game of the generation? Sony Santa Monica had the answer, and it was to simply just do it again. By establishing Kratos and his son Atreus' relationship in the 2018 entry, the sequel sees fit to put Atreus and his ambitions as front and center to the narrative as possible. By utilizing this duality in its storytelling and further showcasing the father-son relationship that the first one made so endearing, Ragnarok not just manages to reach the heights of its own predecessor, but also towers over it. God of War Ragnarok is a near-perfect blend of action and adventure, and it is an enthralling spectacle to behold. With an unforgettable Norse saga that mixes excellent and impeccable writing with amazing performances from its entire cast, Ragnarok is another showcase for video games as a combination of art and entertainment. It is a complete work of art from beginning to end.
What God of War Ragnarok does best, though, is it manages to reflect its core themes with everything a video game sequel should be. It is respectful of all that came before it, yet also not afraid to take it in a new direction. With the story of a son discovering his journey into becoming his own man and how a father feels about it at the heart of this adventure, Ragnarok also adds a unique point as the best dad game ever made. God of War Ragnarok does what it can to be better than its predecessor, while also respecting not just God of War 2018, but the entire franchise as a whole. The game poignantly references previous events from all its titles to highlight just how much it has grown and evolved over time, much like the industry itself has. Sony Santa Monica has put together a stellar achievement twice over now, and it is a testament to the power of their creativity and ingenuity that they have as a studio. Seeing them hone their skills in the same manner that Kratos honed his through discipline and mastery has been a joy over the decade plus they've been around. And with God of War Ragnarok, they have firmly cemented themselves as one of the industry's best studios, and now have twice been a developer of our Game of the Year.
Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and follow us across social media for updates. Thanks for watching!